But I got bullied a lot when I was younger, man. I was like a little chubby husky kid, and that was like a big battle for me for a long time, and that's when I started getting into like MMA and like fighting so I could learn to defend myself.
Young bass guy, and I'm bass with the Martians, 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 Martians.
1 a.m. radio, and today I'm here with Warlord Colossus. What's good, bro?
What's up, Mars? What's going on, man?
Chillin', bro. So, when we first met, you were Colossus the blog.
Yeah, Colossus the blog, man.
What was the thought process behind Colossus the blog? Like,
There was a metal band named Colossus, so I wanted that search optimization. I studied marketing a lot on my own, and you would have to be search optimized. So if people would search in Colossus, you would get that conflict of search. So I put the blog on it, thinking that would help the search process. But people started thinking I was a fucking blog.
yeah, it was a very confusing name.
Yeah.
So when did you decide to change it?
Oh man, I used to when I first started. This was like 3 years ago when I first was spamming you a lot. I talked to Anonymous, and he gave me a lot of like marketing advice. And he's like, "Yo, if you think it's gonna like change it, if you think changing the name is gonna help you get your listeners and help your image." And I started thinking about like I did Brazilian Jiu Jitsu for a long time, which derived from the samurai. So I started thinking about Warlord Colossus, and people calling me Warlord I think sounded way better than the blog, so I just changed it. I took everything down off of Spotify, everything, and I changed everything, and started to working on my image a lot. Shout out Suicide Boys for giving me that advice too.
Okay. I kind of wanna talk about all that stuff, but first I want to get to like where are you from?
I'm not technically from anywhere. I grew up in a military house, so I lived on army bases up until I was 17. I lived in Alaska, Hawaii, Arizona, Kentucky, South Carolina, Georgia, and Florida. So I've been basically everywhere.
Okay. How do you think that affected you growing up?
Oh man, like mental superiority over a lot of things, man. Honestly, like the way people think and maneuver, like you get to learn how to like interact with different types of mentalities and different types of like to say like leadership skills, like especially in the music industry, like how I interact with people with a big ego. Like I'll let my ego down so they can think that their ego's big, so then we can both come into an agreement point. You know what I mean? Just being able to understand people and their mentality, just moving everywhere and just having to make new friends like that constantly. I feel like that gave me a big advantage in life.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, especially like dealing with like, it was. So since you were moving from such a young age, like it never really like affected you like that, or do you think it did affect you? Like, do you think like it was hard for you to make friends because you moved around a lot?
Yeah, I would say so, but I think people tend to take interest in the new kid. But I got bullied a lot when I was younger, man. I was like a little chubby husky kid, and that was like a big battle for me for a long time. And that's when I started getting into like MMA and like fighting, so I could learn to defend myself.
Word. So basically, you got picked on, and you're like, "Fuck this." Have you ever had to use
Whoop
it?
everybody's ass.
Have you ever been able to like beat somebody up that was picking on you?
When I got into my teens, yeah, I've knocked somebody out by accident once. It was pretty interesting.
What do you mean by accident?
Like he shot in a double leg takedown on me. I don't know, kids were fucked up at a party, whatever, and I just leapt into the air. Just it was like a subconscious reflex, and he just went down. That shit was wild, man.
Jesus, Jesus. So then how do you end up getting into music?
Man, music. It was an interesting thing too, cause go to the MMA side. My last like MMA fight that I did, it was like a jiu-jitsu tournament. I got injured pretty bad. In the first round, I picked the kid up and I slammed him on the ground, and I tore like a ligament in my arm, and I kept fighting. Go to the second round, I go to shoot for a takedown again, and my shoulder pops out. So now I'm sitting at home. I think I'm like 20 years old, 19, 20. I'm like, I'm not working, and I'm just like, what can I do to occupy my mind? And I remember when I was really, really young, my older brother, they would do rap battles in the back of the trailer park in Kentucky. That's when 8 Mile came out. And I remember I would always think about, like, damn, that's so cool. Like, the way they're spitting the words and the way they're, like...
So you used to live in a trailer park in Kentucky?
Yeah, it was like a little trailer, like, next to the army base where my dad was a drill sergeant.
Okay.
Yeah, so my brother and his friends would always rap battles. That's when I first got exposed to it, but I never thought much of it. But come around to high school, I was with a little group of friends that they were, like, always freestyling, and I was always just listening. You know, I was always like, that sounds so dope. Like, I wish I could fucking do that, but I was always so scared. And then comes around, you know, we're in high school, we're throwing a fucking party at my house, and everyone's just freestyling, and I'm drunk, man. I'm off the fucking Henny, like I'm high as fuck. Like I got energy, I got fucking shit in my mind, and there's like some '90s beat, like fucking Shook One's Mob Deep instrumental. You know what I'm talking about? Like or Eminem's Shady 2.0 Cypher. You know, like those shits. That's when they were all always rapping on that. So there's like 100 people in the house and they're in a circle and I'm like scared as shit. Like my heart is like do, 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 and I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna see what happens. And I end up going so fucking hard, man. When I tell you, like everyone in that house started freaking the fuck out. Like everyone started screaming. They were like, where the fuck did that come from? And it was this crazy energetic moment and I never forgot it. And that's what sparked everything. Like that reaction from the people is what got me into music, and I never stopped.
Okay. And I mean, how has the journey been so far for you? Like from Colossus the blog to Warlord Colossus, like I don't know, explain that metamorphosis because like I feel like the name change kind of like changed not your music, but like I feel like it got better when the name changed. It started to make more sense, at least to me. You know what I'm saying? Like what? Explain the metamorphosis, and then really like, what do you do to that's like different than other people? That like, why is your music getting plays, and like maybe other people's music isn't, and like why do you have fans in your live? You know, like and other people don't really.
Man, it all started with Suicide Boys, honestly. Like I remember when we were all freestyling constantly, and then I was like, if I'm gonna make music, I don't want to just rap about money, drugs, and hoes. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to just come off like that. I don't want to. That's not me. It's not who I am. Like I'm a big nerd. Like I play a lot of video games. I play World of Warcraft and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So like I wanted to be different and talk about like spell casting and like mages and like witchcraft and just shit that interested my mind and the things that I was like getting into. And when I found Suicide Boys, I was like, they're fucking on point. Like this is exactly the type of music that I wanted to make. Like with the imagery of the wordplay and I studied them and they taught me about like flows and like flow switching and engineering value and layering your vocals and the value of the whole piece. And I remember I emailed them trying to sign to their label, and like they were like, we think your music is good, this, and this. We're not signing anybody right now, but I think if you worked on your image, that we could all meet in the future. And when the Suicide Boys, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm like, to them, that's like underground shadow rap.
That's
God.
crazy that you just like emailed them and they like responded.
I did it super professional. Like my business mind is so professional. Like I'm like, dear so and so, I'm the CEO of Nephilim Records at so and so. My name's Adrian. You know, I got and I got details and I put my stats and my business plan and like my marketing strategies and everything. But just to simplify it, once they told me about image, and then I talked to Anonymous again about like that Warlord thing, and I just said I knew in my head I have to change something. I have to change everything I've been doing. It needs to just change and grow and be better. And the image constantly changes. And I talked to a guy named Jordan Sucks like around that time frame when I changed from Warlord. I'm sure you've heard of him.
Yeah, yeah.
So I gave him a white samurai mask and a jacket, and I was like, man, I'm changing. Like this is the Warlord now. Like I want it to be different. There's other people that have this mask on. And there's other people that are doing this thing, the shadow rap. I want to stand out. If you can just make this into Warlord. And he fucking splattered blood, red paint all over it, wrote Warlord all over it. And man, just the way my sound was going, that shit just fits so fucking perfectly. And along comes my producer, Station 666, around that time. That's when I made one of my biggest songs called Warlord Tomahawk Gorilla, is when I started getting into the image change. You know, I dyed my mohawk red, you know. It's like, if Suicide Boys told me to jump off a fucking bridge, I would probably do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I took everything super seriously. I studied sound. Shout out to my engineer, Moses, too. He was the first one to put me in a professional studio, too. When I was like Colossus the blog, like, I was trying to freestyle all my songs. And I go to this professional studio. I'm fucking scared. Like, my mom hooked that shit up, actually. She got me into that studio. And he was like, nope. He's like, you know what? Go to your hotel and come back when you're ready. And I was like, fuck, dude. Like, I'm here. This is my first studio ever. Like, I'm not recording in a fucking closet. Like, I gotta fucking come with some shit. And I'm like thinking of Suicide Boys, like catchy. I need to be catchy. I need to be melodic. I need energy. I want to be able to form a fucking mosh pit, like when I'm performing. So I just write. I'm like, okay, like this is catchy. Like swerve. Okay, like swerve while I'm searching for purpose. And I'm like, okay, if I close my eyes and I vision, me performing this, will the crowd fucking move? And they say yes, and that was my evolve process. It was like, if I close my eyes and envision this, will the crowd start moving? And then the mask came, and then Station 666, and then I started like just changing everything, and it was this whole thing, and all of a sudden, I just hit 2 million plays yesterday. You know what I'm saying? I take marketing super seriously. I headline and throw my own shows. Like, it's like it's whole chessboard of a process that was just, that all started with me changing the image and the idea of, like you said, metamorphosis.
Yeah, definitely. So you speak on like how influenced you are by Suicide Boys, and you were telling me like before that you went on like tour with them.
Yeah, so Puya's brother Andrew had at me one day. This is when I was still working at the barber shop. Like, my dad actually owns like VIP Cuts 1 and 2, and with his partner Manny. So I was working back then, and I was just doing that full time and kind of like music on the side. And Andrew called me. He's like, "Yo, one of my openers got sick. Do you still want that slot?" And this is when I was having trouble with them. They were like, "Oh, you're always doing music. You know, you're never at work. Like, what are you doing? Like, you want to do this or that? Because we're about to let you go." And I was like, this is fucking divine timing. Like, the universe fucking sent this shit. Like, I'm about to get fired, and I'm about to go on tour with my fucking, like, idols label. Like, it was Jerem, Shakewell, Ramirez, and Puyo at the last day. And I was like, fuck it. I fucking quit. I packed all my shit. I was broke as fuck. And I just went, man. I went with Gremlins and my boy Kevin. And he actually helped pay for it. He didn't even get to go. He was like, bro, I believe in you. Like, let's just fucking go for it. And, bro, when I tell you, like, that was the best experience of my fucking life. Like, I went to a sold-out show in Back Booth, Orlando, and I fucking started a wall of death. I split the crowd in half. Everybody was fucking moshing. I signed autographs outside. Like, that shit was fucking the best experience ever. And my fan base doubled like that. By psychological association, everyone was like, yo, like, he's gonna fucking blow up. Like, that's Warlord. Like, that's fucking crazy. Like, I was just on the flyer with them, you know what I'm saying? And psychologically, people started fucking with me more. And then from then on, with the image change, things started building up faster.
Yeah, yeah. You got like you have like a big fan base like overseas too, right?
Yeah, very, very big in Europe, man. Shout out Germany, shout out Russia, shout out Poland, shout out Sweden, all over the place.
How did that happen?
That happened a lot because of Trash Gang, honestly.
The YouTube channel?
Yeah. I think originally, they got a lot of popularity from doing like those AMVs and hosting Ghostmane's music video, or Ghostmane's AMVs, if you will.
Mhm.
And they got a ton of play from that. And then I was like, that's my genre, that's my niche, that's what I want to be a part of. I mean, Trash Gang, like, this is the mask that I'm wearing. They sent this to me, and it was like a perfect fit. Like, I put up um so Station 666 sent me the beat for Blade Runner.
That's your producer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, rest in peace to Station, man. Evgeny, man. He helped my career so fucking much.
What happened to him?
Man, it was just a long battle with depression, like something that we all fucking battle with, anxiety and depression, and like I don't even, not wanting to leave the house and shit, and just trying to express it through music. I guess he just lost the battle.
So what? He killed himself?
Yeah, he did, man.
Jeez, when?
That happened a couple months ago, man.
Jeez.
But he made my career, honestly. Like, I mean, obviously, like, we all put in work. Like, I did the lyrics, Moses mixed and mastered it, but this man was sitting in like Ukraine, Russia, in his room. I remember sending him like $60 to just buy headphones so he can keep making beats. And he sent me the beat for Blade Runner, and that was I was in Atlanta with Hunter, the guy who shot the video for that. But previously, my older brother had passed away too, so he unfortunately he overdosed. So that in that moment in time, I didn't know what I wanted to do with my career. Like, everything was kind of slow, and then when he sent me that beat, I just wanted to release my energy. And man, I knew a lot of people fucking battle with that shit, so I just wanted to get this angry fucking sad energy out. So I come up with the song Blade Runner. That was after Jordan gave me the mask and everything, and it was like, I remember I got the news on fucking Christmas. I was like on top of the world. Warlord Tomahawk Gorilla just dropped. It was doing so good, and after that, everything just kind of seemed to like crash down. And once I got the beat for that, I knew I had to rock with it, and I submitted it to Trash Gang, and they loved it. The kid loved it. He didn't ask for no money. He's like, yo, let's get this up. And I can't say where we shot the video because we'll get in trouble, but we fucking went somewhere we weren't supposed to go, underneath the building, and we shot it. and it just came out super fire with the mask, and I think that's when that image metamorphosis was finalized with Blade Runner.
Word. And so like Trash Gang like sponsors you? Like, what does
Yeah,
that
man.
mean?
Like they've basically been supporting me, and every time I would like drop a music video, like when Blade Runner came out, like the the support from that page and them, they changed my life, man, for real. That's where all that European support came from, and that's where this mask came from, and that's like I'm starting to learn German and Russian just so I can go over there and like interact with the people and everything.
That's dope. That's dope. Um, yo, have you ever has like a label ever reached out to you? Has that happened yet?
Yeah, I think like maybe 3 or 4. It's so funny. The first label that ever reached out to me, let me tell you, it was just I met him in the barbershop, and he was like, "Yo, like, what are you doing?" And I was like, "I'm thinking about going to Full Sail." You know, that's when I was like, I think still Colossus the blog, and I was like, "Oh, I got like 100 something thousand plays." And then he was like, "Bro, like, don't fucking go to Full Sail. Like, that shit's a waste of fucking money. Like, that you're gonna be in debt. You're not gonna get a job, and you're gonna learn like basic skills that you could learn from YouTube." And I was like, "Okay." And he was like, "Come talk to me. Come talk to us at the label, and show us your music, and we'll go work it out." And fucking turned out, bro, it was like a Christian rap label, and I fucking scared the shit out of him, bro. He kicked me out of the fucking building. That was funny as fuck.
But right now you're like doing like your own label thing.
Yeah, man. Right now I'm with my gang, Nephilim gang. We all have
What is Nephilim?
Nephilim. Basically, is like that duality of like an angel and a demon put together. Like it's like yin and yang. It's like I don't know if it's like a Bible term, but that's like the balance of everything. Like I'm constantly anxious, but like I'm also constantly positive and motivated. You know what I mean? I'm constantly trying to control the balance of my mind. You know what I'm saying? So that's where the idea of like Nephilim comes from, and everyone on the label with me is like super family. You know, everyone's super funny. We have like a group chat. You know, we all support each other's music, give each other ideas. We all motivate each other when we're not feeling at the top level artists that we can be. So that's like family right now, man. Shout out Plague. He tattooed Nephilim on his fucking knuckles because of a song that I made.
Damn, that's dope.
That's fucking loyalty right there, man.
Shit, are we missing anything? You got any like shout outs or anything you wanna?
Oh man, shout out Station 666, shout out EJ, man, rest in peace. Yo, shout out Moses for mixing mastering all my stuff. Shout out Trash Gang, shout out Nephilim Gang. Everybody's been showing mad love. I'm super grateful. I got 2 million plays on SoundCloud, almost 3 million total. Like everything's just going super positive, and now it's just about releasing a song and a video every month to 2 months, so I can keep that energy going, so I can go on tour.
You have any advice for an up and coming artist?
Advice, man, invest in your fucking mix and master engineering. I swear to God, that shit'll change your life. Layer your fucking vocals and work on your image. Don't fucking shoot a music video with a fucking I don't even know, man. You just gotta invest in that shit. Like shoot that video in 4K, make it a cinematic movie, take fucking photo shoots, work on your marketing, like fucking just do whatever you can to get your name out there, because don't rely on your friends sharing your shit. You got to rely on like bigger funneling. I think of everything like a funnel. If a page posts my video, they're gonna funnel me new followers. If somebody reposts my shit, they're gonna funnel me new followers. You know what I'm saying? You have to tap into markets. Like people do professional Call of Duty 360 sniper scope videos, and they'll get 1 million plays on that shit. Submit them a song and see if you get fucking. You know what I'm saying? They'll put your link in the bio, and Spotify pays the most. Like a million plays is like $4,000. So focus your Spotify.
Batman, thank you for coming. I appreciate you.
No problem, man. Thank you.
This was the Mars Files. Peace.